Hey guys, Connecticut Dashcam here. So I put out that my Q&A video about about last week. So uh, just wanted to get around and do the answers portion now. Um, Pretty much got down as pretty much all the questions that I saw. So gonna try to get everything here. And if there's something I miss, apologize in advance. But I'm going to try my best. So let's see. So first off, Bad Drivers of Brazil, congratulations on 200 subs, and have you been in other countries? Which countries? No, I have not been in any other country besides the US. What languages? Assuming what I speak, obviously primarily English, but I do know a decent deal of Spanish and some Polish. Do you know any word in Portuguese? Which? As far as I know, Portuguese is fairly similar to Spanish, but I don't know, I may be wrong, so I guess technically I might, but not off the top of my head. Next up, CT Dashcamer asks, who is your favorite dashcamer that doesn't live in Connecticut? See, now that's a tough kind of question, because I don't really like to pick favorites, but I would definitely say like one of the first that I started watching was Bad Drivers of Southern California. So right off the bat, before I even got into the whole dash camming scene, that was definitely one of my favorites. So I guess if I had to pick, I'd say him. He still uploads some pretty good videos. So, and let's see. Alex's father has 4 kids. 3 of their names are Jordan, James, and John. What's the name of the 4th kid? Well, I kind of already know the answer to this because I'm really good at these kind of riddles and stuff. So it's gonna have to be Alex. That would be the 4th kid. And let's see. Next up, Jeffrey M asks, "Who are your 3 best dash cammers?" Like I said before, I don't typically like to pick favorites. So I wouldn't say there's one I would particularly pick out over any other ones. Um, you know, that's just me. I like everybody equally, I guess. Let's see, what's next? What is your favorite country slash state to visit? That would definitely be New York, and in particular New York City. Just something about New York City I absolutely love. I don't know, I just love the atmosphere and just that whole big city feel. Definitely something I've always liked. Let's see. What is your favorite car? That changes from time to time. As of this very particular moment, my favorite car is probably the new Volvo S60 or V60 Polestar, which is their performance version, and I think it just looks pretty sweet. And it's pretty fast too, so that'd be my favorite car at the moment. And let's see, what are your plans for the future? As far as life plans, I don't really have anything in mind. I'll be staying in Connecticut for as long as I can think. Let me stop that. Nothing, like I said, off the top of my head that I have immediately for plans, so. And do you like Northern California drivers? And my answer to that is, how could you not like Northern California drivers? So, let's see, now Sacramento Dashcam asks, what is your most memorable driving moment? Alright, so I definitely know what that is. So when, I think it was about a year and a half ago, I drove to Tennessee from North Carolina, and it is up in, I forget what the heck mountain range it is, but there's this like state highway that goes up through there to get into Tennessee, and it's like windy and curvy and like up mountains and whatnot, and it is like the absolute most fun road I've ever driven on ever, and I totally want to go back someday and drive it again because it was just that much fun. And what sort of music do you listen to when you drive? 99% of the time my music is playing off my phone by like Apple Music or something, or Pandora. I listen to, well, you hear from my videos, I kind of like to say I have quite a big variety that I listen to, but I mean, a decent deal, probably like stuff you hear on the radio, and then some like hip hop and some pop and some country and like I said, it's really diverse. I don't really have one thing in particular I listen to more than the rest. What is your dream car? My dream car right off the bat would be probably an, um, let me think. It's, it used to be, I'm not gonna stop. I would have said an Aston Martin DBS, but what's the heck is the name? I'm totally blanking on the new one. Um, Not the Virage, but I don't know. It's the new, nice looking one. I don't know why I'm like not remembering what it is. But definitely that. I always loved Aston Martins. I just think they look so like, I don't know. I love them. They're pretty sweet. Have you been to California before? No, I have not, but I definitely want to someday. It's definitely on the list of places that I want to go. And let's see, Arizona Dashcam asks, have you ever been honked at? Yes, as a matter of fact, I have numerous times, and probably half of those were my fault and half of those weren't my fault, but yes, it has happened, and I'm definitely not one of those people that will like honk back if I was at fault, because I honestly would feel embarrassed to honk back knowing that I did something wrong and it was probably stupid, and that has happened in the past. So, yeah. And what is your favorite music genre? So I kind of touched on that before. Same thing, your dream car, definitely the Aston. Your dream place to live. So, like I said before, I really like going to New York City, and I definitely someday would like to have something in New York City, but I also love like the whole Southern California idea, and that is just something I've also always had like a fascination with. So I would definitely not mind living there at all. Would you ever visit Tucson, Arizona? Yeah, I like going places. I like traveling. So anywhere new, I'm up for going. And let's see, Bad Drivers Find Me asks, what is your favorite car that you have ever driven? So of the cars that I have driven, my favorite has been, it was a 2007? Yeah, 2007 Volvo V70R. That was just, I don't know, something about it, I just kind of fell in love. I think it's my uncle's, and it's just, it's surprisingly fast, like you would not expect it, and it is definitely like the most comfortable car I've ever sat in, and it's practical too, so it's kind of like a special thing that you don't know until you actually drive one, you're like, wow, this is awesome. Let's see, what is the fastest you've ever driven? Did you get caught? Well, I'm not going to disclose how fast I've ever driven, but I will say it is faster than you probably should have driven on the highway. But it was on the highway, and it was, you know, in the middle of the night. But again, we're not going to go there. And your favorite place to visit / vacation? Like I said, one of my favorite states to visit is New York. But I also love going to Rhode Island because that's where the beaches are here. And I pretty much grew up going to the beaches in Rhode Island, so that's always something I enjoy doing. And what was your longest road trip? My longest road trip I've ever done was from Connecticut to North Carolina, and it was about, with traffic in total and stops and whatnot, it ended up taking like just about 14 hours. And so pretty much we left at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we got there just around 7 at night. So it's definitely a long drive, but it wasn't too bad. And let's see, next, Dart Dashcam SC asks, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'd say, I kind of mentioned this before too, I really, as far as like plans, I don't have anything, but in 5 years I'd like to see myself, you know, doing something more towards what the career path is that I'm looking to go down, and that's going to be in the automotive field. Not sure what, but I'm gonna be taking some business classes at my college, so something down that general area. But I hope within the next 5 years I'm in some kind of position that's geared more towards that field. Where do you see yourself living in the next 10 years? Like I said, most likely still in Connecticut, but, you know, that's something that can change, you know, and, I don't know, quickly. So, I can't say for sure, but if, something ever came up, it's quite possible I'd be moving somewhere else. And who taught you how to drive manual? That would be my uncle with the Volvo V70R. And he taught me on his 1988 Volvo 740, which was like, for people that don't know cars, that's like the typical Volvo. When you hear Volvo, like a big old box on wheels, like, yeah. But that was really, really fun. So now I actually love driving manuals. Plans with my education. Again, like I said, I'm probably going to be taking some business classes. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be majoring in. As of right now, I'm just taking general course studies, um, but something along those lines. And next, Northern California Drivers asks, who's in your top 5 favorite dash cameras? I seem to have gotten a lot of this question, and I don't want to like say, because I don't want to feel guilty about anything, because maybe there's like some I like more, but there aren't any that I dislike more than the others. So, um, like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna really give a top 5, but I like a lot of different dash cameras, and to be honest here, to put it this way, I think the best way to say it is there's a lot of different dash cameras I like for different reasons, and their videos are different for different reasons, and that's why I like them. And let's see, what would you do if you won the lottery? Well, the very first thing I would do, to be actually kind of practical, is pay off anything I owe right now, and get some kind of account started to put that in, build interest and whatnot. But I'd probably, like I said, pay for all my stuff, like as far as college and whatnot. But let me see. I would most likely be taking a trip to my local car dealer, even though I still have my Mazda, and I'd keep my Mazda because I like it. But be getting a nice fancy new car, I bet. And let's see. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? Like I said before, I definitely would love to live in New York City or like Southern California. Other than that, there's really nothing I can think off the top of my head that sparks my interest like those two would. So that would be that. And let's see, Bad New Jersey Drivers. Have you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Well, if you're not selling Girl Scout cookies, get off my front porch. And now, Bad Drivers of North Central Maryland asks, have you ever been pulled over? If yes, what was it for? And the answer to that is no, I have never been pulled over, and I know it's probably going to happen inevitably, but I hope that's not going to be anything too bad. Let's see. Have you ever traveled outside the U.S.? No, I have been in the U.S. my whole life. I have never left. What is your favorite car? Like I said, right now, my favorite car is that new Volvo S60 Polestar. And my dream car is that Aston Martin. I guess I'll just say the DBS. Do you know the Muffin Man? Actually, yes, me and him are quite acquainted. And congratulations to 200 subscribers. Okay, and DJ Wheaton, I believe. What's your dream car? As I said, the Aston. Are you satisfied with your Mazda? Yes, I am definitely satisfied with my Mazda. I love my Mazda. When I bought this car, it was kind of like I wouldn't want to say spur of the moment, but it was like a very last minute, like, that I found out about it. So I would have never considered a Mazda, but I'm very glad that I did because I absolutely love it. Let's see, have you ever been honked at? Yes, like I said, I have. And my favorite hobby? Let's see, some things I've liked in my spare time. I enjoy bike riding. I've always done that. I do play video games, and for anybody that's wondering, I'm an Xbox person, so that's that. Don't play any PC games. Never really had a good PC to play any games on, so that would be that. And next, Bad Drivers of Utah. If you can make one car brand in the USA illegal to own, what would it be? That's a good question, honestly. I don't know. I really wouldn't put too much thought into that. There's nothing out there at the moment that I could just imagine as that terribly horrible that it needs to be outright banned, because of the most freaky cars that there's ever been, there's always been a small small following of them, so somebody finds pretty much every car interesting in some way. So yeah. And what is your favorite thing about dash camming? Probably, to be honest, my favorite thing is being able to, like, to share all these, like, crazy things I capture with everybody else. And, wow, that's a long line for that exit. Anyway, because before I started dash camming, I know I absolutely enjoyed watching dash cam videos and just seeing, you know, even besides the bad driver's point, just all the funny things that you can capture by dash cam, whether they be bad drivers or just, like, stupid things that just make you laugh, and those are fun. And let's see. Oh, and my questions were due on Wednesday, which was Bad Drivers of Utah's birthday, so happy belated birthday. And Bad Drivers of the DC area, would you like a copy of my mixtape volume 2? Absolutely not, because you saw what happened last time I listened to your mixtape. Cough cough, my car caught on fire. Who's the hottest dash camera? I have no choice but to say that is you. And why a Mazda and not a Corolla? Simply because zoom zoom. And we're breaking. Okay, and let's see. South Jersey Drivers asks, what's your favorite movie? As far as movies, to be totally honest, like, I watch movies more than I do TV shows because I just, like, have no time in my life for anything. So, it kind of actually sounds counterintuitive, but for some reason I find myself watching more movies than anything, and we're gonna go around this guy. As of right now, let's see. And thank you very much for that. I appreciate you not using your signal. Okay, back to what we were saying. Favorite movie, right? Sorry, just gotta keep people. Right now, I don't know, many of you have heard of, there's a new movie out, and it's called Zootopia, and it's a kid's movie, but it's absolutely, like, the funniest movie ever, because there's, like, so many adult references in it. Like, you could be an adult or, like, a teenager and watch it and, like, still laugh at it. And I actually watched it with my family, and I was like, oh god, you know, kids movie. And I was, like, surprised. Now I absolutely love it. I'd definitely watch it. Who's your favorite person ever? Well, my favorite person ever, I really don't have to put too much thought in that, because that would definitely have to be South Jersey Drivers. No doubt in my mind about that. Okay, now Susie Thomas asks, what states have you visited? Okay, so from starting in the very top all the way down, I visited Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. And I can officially say that all of those I have been in and not just driven through, because I've, you know, driving down to North Carolina, I've driven through all those states, but I have, at some point in my life, done something where I was staying in those states or visited somebody in those states, so I've legitimately been in all those states. Okay, and let's see, would you rather be the driver or the passenger? And my answer to that is 100% always the driver, because I just love driving. Okay, come on, really? Not that hard. Driving just always is entertaining to me, and I just enjoy it. I always have, I probably always will. I don't think it's going to be one of those things that gets old and boring to me at all. So, yeah, I enjoy driving. Have you met anybody famous? Let's see. I met a couple of, like, Broadway actors and actresses in New York. Besides that, I met a couple, like, car company CEOs, and some, like, you know, business marketing directors, but other than that, I haven't directly met anybody that per se famous, I guess. So yeah. And let's see, Bad Drivers of Greenville, South Carolina asks, how old are you? Right now I am 18. And what's the longest distance you've driven in one sitting? And that was when I went to Tennessee, and that was a total of about 7 hours. That was just total, straight through. Let's see. what would you buy if you had $529,540 to burn? It would probably be the Aston Martin, to be totally honest with you. That's probably what I'd spend it on. What music do you listen to? Mentioned that before. What dash camera would you want to cruise with next? Now that you already cruised with Wendy. And Wendy is Bad Drivers of Connecticut, and she is awesome. Besides that, let's see. I probably want to like go somewhere or drive around with Halo, because his videos, like the things he captures, it's just like sometimes I just sit there in amazement, and he seems like he has a funny personality, so I think he'd be fun to hang out with. And let's see, Dashcam Andy asks, if you could spend one day with any celebrity, living or dead, who would it be, and what would you do? That's a really good question. People have asked me stuff about that before, and I really have no clue what to answer with. Any celebrity? I don't know. I really don't like. I'm not huge into the celebrity scene, so I don't know if there's anybody in particular that I'd be dying to hang out with. I don't know. I'll think about that one. I'll get back to you. Let's see, and who put the bump in the bump, shoo bump, that was probably me. And who put the ram in the ram-a-limma ding dong? That might have also been me. And what is your favorite book? I don't know if I have a favorite book. I used to read a lot more. I definitely don't read as much now. Any of the reading I've been doing lately is just for school, so I don't really have a favorite as of this very moment. What's the fastest you've driven in and what car? I think I kind of already mentioned that. I wasn't going to exactly say. It was fast. We'll put it at that. And what was your favorite condiment to put on French fries? The only condiment I've ever put on French fries was ketchup. So I don't know. I'm gonna stick with ketchup on that one. And the least favorite thing about my Mazda. The least favorite thing is that it's not something that's really probably particular to this car though. It's just because it's a small car. When it's like really windy or if I'm driving on the highway and whatnot, it just kind of, moves around a lot and it doesn't feel as hefty. But again, like I said, that's something that would just come with having a smaller car, so it's not anything in particular about this car. So, and let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna say this right, but Sinrico123. Which do you prefer, manual or automatic? I prefer manual. I feel like with a manual you have more control of the car and you can get the most out of the car. Whereas an automatic, it's pretty much just doing everything for you. Let's see. Let me turn first. What do you like most about your Mazda? Most about it, I like how it is feature-wise, because I still got the manual, but I got some nice features like the sunroof, and I have like the Bose sound system and whatnot, and I like the color and everything, and I think it just looks nice. I just like it all around. I haven't really found anything I dislike about it. And why did I start dash camming? I started dash camming because I started watching dash cam videos, and I started seeing some around Connecticut. And I was like, hey, that looks really fun, that's something I want to do. So that's pretty much kind of what made me start. And Dashcam Denmark asked, would you ever visit Denmark if you could? And yes, I definitely would, because like I said, I love traveling places and seeing new places, and I've never been out of the country, so that would definitely be a cool place to go. And if you could have any car you'd like, what would it be? I mentioned that. Let's see. And Central Illinois Dashcam. Let's see. Where is his question? Alright, and Central Illinois Dashcam asked, if McDonald's sold hot dogs, could you with a straight face order a McWiener and tell them to supersize it? I absolutely could. I would definitely do that. I would find that quite humorous, actually. Let's see, and that looks like that's it. Like I said, if there's anything I did miss, sorry, and I'll check the comments again, you know, I'll try to respond if I can, if I forgot anything, but, thanks so much, guys, and, if you have any other questions at all, feel free to leave them in the comments of this video, and I'll get back to you. Thank you again, and I'll see ya.